Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on Outside with Jeff. Today I just got home from work. I'm really dirty from working in the factory as a maintenance technician, but I came home and there's a package of blueberries. So I need to get these packaged. I got other things I need to be doing, but I really need to get these planted and in the ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and separate the varieties out. I'm gonna put the Duke on this side. Those are the earliest ripening varieties. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Dukes to the side and get them planted and have that on video, and then I'll go ahead and get the rest of them planted here in a little bit. So when you're planting blueberries, one of the keys is you want to not plant them deeper than the rootstock was already planted. So you just want to go right to that root ball. I'm going to do about 2.5 foot spacing on these. So let me get my tape measure here. So I'm going to come over about 2.5 foot. I'm going to come over from about 2 foot from there, put one, and then go on down the line. So let me just put my tape measure down. Start with my spacing here. So I'm going to come out, there's the 2 foot mark. I'm going to come out from the fence approximately 18 inches. There we go. It's got a lot of rain lately. It's kind of muddy, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to get these planted. So there's 2 foot. If I was coming over another 2 foot on center, here's a 4 foot mark. So it'll be 4.5. Be right there. Go 1 foot. Let's see here. So we're at 53. We need to go 24 inches. That would be 77. Another 6 inches would be 83. So right about here. And that'll be our 3 plants for this side of the fence. These are 2-year-old plants from the nursery. This variety's Duke. They guaranteed 12 to 18 inches was the plant size. Let's see how big these plants are. It's 18 inches, 19 inches, 18 inches. So they did a good job on giving us a good plant size. Bring you in closer. All right, so once you've got your hole dug, you're gonna take your plant, put it about where ground level is, and just start backfilling. Yep. That's about ground level. Ideally, this ground wouldn't be so muddy, but we've got about 4 inches of rain in the last, I'd say 3 days, so could be worse. At least it's not standing water. There we go. Here in a couple days, my buddy, he's got a bunch of pine trees at his in-laws house, and I told him I needed a bunch of pine needles for these blueberries, and he told me to come on out, bring a trash bag, and get whatever I needed. So that's the plan. You'll get a bunch of pine needles for mulching. Urban myth is that pine needles will increase the acidity, but if you do a bunch of research online, you're going to find a bunch of conflicting information about that. However, I do want to mulch them to keep the weeds down, and I do know for a fact, because my parents used to have a house with a bunch of pine trees, they do prevent a lot of stuff, and a lot of weeds, a lot of grasses and stuff from growing. So if nothing else, it's going to help me with my weed pressure, and that's what I'm looking at, is keeping that weed pressure down. Blueberries take a few years to get started. They say about 4 years after our 4-year-old plant, will be close to full production. And these varieties here said you'd get about 10 to 20 pounds of blueberries when they're fully producing. So that's what my hopes are. I've got 12 plants. 12 times 10 on the low side would be 120 pounds of blueberries. That would be amazing. Around here, the other day at the grocery store, they were asking $5 a pint, and that was not organic. So it'd be really nice to get homegrown blueberries. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, you can see there, as little as about 4 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, I was able to get all those planted. I'll come back by here in a couple days and get them covered in pine needles. Thanks for tuning in this video. All right, so here they are after they're planted. I put a little bit of Beyond Peat around the edges, mainly because I've noticed that the Beyond Peat mixture has a lower acidity than topsoil or potting soil or anything like that. And I'm gonna be coming back over and mulching them with pine needles. I'm gonna step over here. I put one right there in between my raised beds, and then I will come over here and I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 along here. So these are Blueray, Bluecrop, and Duke. As you can see, there's some pretty good size on these berries. There's actually a couple of them that they actually ship them with little green berries on them, so that's pretty cool. So definitely they're the age that they'll be producing berries. I'm going to give them some fertilizer here in a few days. We've had a lot of rain. I don't want to water them today. The ground's super wet, and I'm not going to water them or give them any water soluble fertilizer today. But I just wanted to show you how they turned out. I'm really happy with it. Here in a couple days, I'll be mulching with pine needles, and I'll show you that. Have a great day.